tower destroyed, and second tower, boom!
The final component of the deck, my hardwood.
We can unlock this big black man.
This is Crusher21, the second biggest Clash Royale channel. On the surface he looks like a really good YouTuber, and even has one of the most viewed Clash Royale content that has ever been out. But when you dig down a bit you can see that he didn't have the best YouTube reputation. And even though there are a lot of people that still think he's the best channel, there are a lot that think he's the worst Clash Royale YouTuber ever. But how did such a guy manage to be this successful at YouTube? How did he get himself into this much trouble? And what I think needs to happen with the most controversial Clash Royale creator. The thing is though, is that when Crusher21 started out his YouTube career, he was a lot different than today. So let's go over the 3 changes that Crusher had at the beginning. So let's go back to day 1, when Crusher21 started his channel in March of 2019. And right away you could notice the first ever change. At this time Crusher21 wasn't even a Clash Royale YouTuber. Back then Crusher was actually playing a game called Royale. This game was pretty cool and did help him start out, and even though it was just a Fortnite clone, Crusher did like this game a lot, and it was the only game that made him start out. But that wasn't actually the only reason Crusher21 was able to succeed and not just fade out, because the thing is, right when Crusher started out, he was almost immediately successful. Just after he came out, his videos were already getting a ton of views. Turns out Royale actually has a decent audience, and Crusher21's funny videos were getting some views. But even though Crusher did have a lot of success at the start, this wasn't enough for him. He still needed to change up if he wanted to reach the state where he is today. And about a year after he started out, Crusher21 would make the second change of his career. And on June 10th, 2020, right after he hit 5,000 subs with just Royale, Crusher decided to finally make another change and face reveal. And at this time it was really cool. Crusher was just a 14-year-old and he was still able to make these videos and get a lot of views from Royale. And that seemed pretty amazing for everyone. But turns out that this thing was not always so true. And about a year later, when Crusher21 would hit 20,000 subscribers, he would decide to make the first real transition. On October 30th, 2021, Crusher21 would make a very unique video. This video was about him playing with a bunch of extremely rainbow flag cards and getting to a new league in Clash Royale. Now, even though this video was just a minute long, there was something really special about it that was never actually seen before. This video from Crusher21 was actually the first Clash Royale video on his channel. And right then and there, his Clash Royale videos were getting a ton of attraction. This was pretty unique, because the only stuff that he had was just random content and trolling with maxed out mirror. These videos did very well for some reason, but it seemed like Crusher wanted something else, like he was close to finding an idea for something. So about 2 months after he started Clash Royale, he would make another video that completely blew up. This video was a simple compilation of maxed out cards versus level 1 cards. Now, some people already knew how to do this, but Crusher was one of the first people to actually go and make a full video showcasing these interactions. And this small compilation of underleveled versus overleveled was so good that this thing completely blew up. In fact, I even used some clips from this compilation in some of my videos because they are just so fun to watch. But this series wasn't the only thing that Crusher was maining at the time. A bit after this series, Crusher started another one where he did skits and acted like Clash Royale cards. This was inspired by a concept that some people used a while ago, and it was still really funny. But something about this series was very interesting about Crusher. Something that one day will completely change everything about him. But I will get to it soon. At this time, Crusher was experimenting with all sorts of things that he liked. He started a group chat series with Clash Royale cards, made a few song parodies, and even went out and did some goofy IRL videos. All of these videos were pretty good, but it was clear to Crusher that there was something else far better to do, and the thing that he will be mostly remembered for. On July 29th, 2022, Crusher21 would decide to upload a new video. At this time he was still doing the skits and random stuff, but this video was different. On this video, he would make a new Clash Royale account and push it to 5,000 trophies while being pay to win. And when this video came out, it did extremely well. This concept of creating a new account and pushing it was a concept that KFC Clash used to constantly do. But as I said in my video about him, around this time KFC was actually starting to burn out and do these videos less and less. Crusher was always a big fan of KFC, so while KFC was moving away from this style, Crusher21 started to slowly kick in. And very soon, he started to make this idea his main content. I beat Clash Royale using only females. I beat Clash Royale with the cheapest deck. I beat Clash Royale using only spells. We're just the beginning. But the thing about this style of content is that KFC still didn't 100% retire from it. And I don't think Crusher wanted to just be a KFC clone. And that is when Crusher decided to fully focus on the third and final change that he did. The change that helped him the most, and the change that would ultimately make him the most controversial Clash Royale creator. Because after Crusher started to experiment different styles, and he did a small group chat series, he managed to spot one thing that not many people would. Every time that Crusher21 used a dark humor joke, it would work out and be really funny. Crusher just wanted to try something, and it turned out to be good. Every time he would make a dark humor joke, it was just well received, and it led to Crusher making a choice. He could keep doing his videos like normal and all of that stuff, or he could start to add dark humor into his content for a more entertaining video. At the time, it was pretty obvious what to do, and from that time, Crusher decided to start using dark humor a lot. And when it came to the style of creating a new account and pushing it, Crusher just started to play a character that used these jokes, and that basically just went on. Every video that went on, Crusher's character would get more and more insane, and people liked that. At the beginning, Crusher knew less how to make these videos entertaining than KFC, who actually studied the formula, so he had to use this strategy to his advantage and go a separate way. And for a really long time, this was what Crusher21 was mostly all about, and everybody liked that. Until one day, something about the dark humor jokes would go in a bad direction, and the first ever problems would start to appear. In May 20th, 2023, Crusher made a new video. This video was another Clash Royale video where he created a new account, but this time it was different. You see, up until this point, Crusher's dark humor and goofy jokes were always just a bonus inside the video. A part of some questionable thumbnails and stuff, everything was just in the video and basically a bonus. But with this new video, Crusher did something different. I beat Clash Royale using only black people, and this was the thumbnail. But this wasn't the only thing special here, because in this video the dark jokes part was a lot bigger than normal. It was pretty wild, and people at the time noticed this and were telling Crusher. And even after he did end up changing the thumbnail, nothing too big actually came out, until 6 days later when another YouTuber, Boss CR, decided to make a video. This thing wouldn't stop though. Even outside of YouTube, people were still pretty mad about this video, so Crusher had to say something. And a bit after the Boss CR video, he would decide to respond. But this response wasn't normally what you would expect, and it shows something unique about Crusher. In his response, he basically just agreed with it. He said that this was a bad idea to do what he did, and he even took responsibility and changed the thumbnail, which in my opinion was definitely the right thing. Crusher21 showed and admitted that he wasn't racist and just made the jokes for entertainment, and I genuinely think he's a good guy. I think he just made a mistake and is improving from. His content is obviously a lot edgier than normal, but in my opinion it's just fine. But just like Boss said though, the video about the black people was taken way too far. And ever since then, Crusher21 has been continuing and has not been in any more controversies. But there is still one problem that needs to be solved, because on one of Crusher's oldest videos, there was one very unique comment. Great job! Quick question though, when you get famous, can you please remember me? From PizzaBoy2797. And the thing is, just like his dad, Crusher never came back. So if you want Crusher to come back to him and make PizzaBoy2797 finally happy, you have to subscribe.